Full of possibility, I react to the calling. My innocence is faded upon the once golden fields of glory, and all I can say is thank you. Thank you for the dream and its spectrum of ever-increasing beauty. I used to get excited by the light show and found that quite satisfactory for a while, but now I just can't sit still. There's got to be something out there, all the way out there, right in here. The sea is bubbling up out of the desert, and we are not yet stopping to enjoy the miracle of this. Well, some of us are, and I will count myself a record keeper of these great times. Not that we'll need them where we're going. The voice calling me crazy has even vacated the building. I had to consciously conjure up the memory to even get him a mention here. That in itself is a monumental piece of awareness. Why is that reality feeling like a dream we just awoke from? The obvious answer is, well, obvious. Perhaps because that is exactly what we have just done. It only hasn't sunk in yet. This is you imagining what freedom feels like, probably for the first time in a very, very long while. The whiff of it is a tad sweet, and you may just think that spring has arrived a season early. What does freedom truly feel like? I challenge you to work at answering that question for the next few days. If you've had an experience with psychedelics, then you may have found yourself in such a feeling. As you conjure up or remember what this can feel like, expand it out so there are no edges that can stop you. Unless it's an edge you create as an aspect of your free choice to do so. Imagine the free-flowing awareness that you are, able to spiral into the oneness of your experience, able to create instant manifestations of thought and vision, and infinitely beyond. Real true freedom does, however, require a parameter or boundary to exist in this true harmonic form. This parameter I have come to see as the emerging fifth-dimensional unity consciousness. It is at this threshold that the hierarchical constraints of the duality cease to exist. These constraints allow for individual transcendental freedom, but not a collective one. The latter is the big one I believe we are now ready for, as we surrender to the cosmic pulse vibrating us into a higher resonant dimensional relationship with the cosmos and ourselves. The urgency of today's nowness astounds me. I'm finding that the relevant act of creation now is for this moment and must be shared right away, because the veil is being pulled back gently by the moment. It is a beautiful thing if we can share in this once-in-a-millennium sunrise. As we turn our backs on the failed leadership and indoctrination of the few, we are learning that the joy and power of freedom is being directly experienced by those allowing it to flow through them to the world. If left to our own devices, we would instantly surprise ourselves with the harmony and care we would receive from each other. This is a new awakening that had not been available, as many of us were still caught in the small self paradigm. Consider us now on the right side of the fence, so to speak, even though this side is not a side, but a circle of wholeness and inclusive responsibility. Look around, it is happening everywhere. As we forgive, we can build a new trust. Trust in ourselves as sovereign creators of every energetic impulse we contribute to the world. The results of acting out of harmony are felt instantly and in full transparency. This is an important aspect to internalize. There are no places left to hide. The light has been turned on. Congratulations on accepting your mission. Be proud of yourselves. We made it through one hell of a shitstorm, and yet everything we threw at ourselves was transmuted. Not to say we didn't make a big mess while playing in the mud pile, because we certainly got ourselves buried up to the ears in every aspect of the shadow time. Consider the last 13,000 years like a very long turn of the moon. Imagine consciousness as a point on the moon that, all that time ago, crossed from the light side of the moon into the shadows. Since then, we have gone through the full spectrum of the dark side, and have just now begun to realize that the sun is rising, having forgotten that such a thing was even possible. This case of amnesia was pretty severe after so many lifetimes, not to mention the epic amount of energy spent on keeping us in our vegetative malaise. I have visions of armies battling on that last day of darkness, tired and beaten, confused and disoriented by the last few days of strange anticipatory meanderings amongst the plebes. And then those first rays of sunlight emerge from the horizon that previously had been consumed by an eternal vacuum of darkness. A sudden inhalation of wonder instantly renders the warriors like babies as their swords drop to the ground without resistance. Then what, you may ask? Well, exactly. What are you going to do now?